Greetings, world. I just wanted to go over part 3 of the book we've been reading together, Excuses to Let Go Of by Rachel Hollis. Um, the first part of the book that we were reading were excuses to let go of. We went over all the things that we say to ourselves that prevent ourselves from moving forward with our goals and our dreams and the things that we want to do. And then we went on to talk about the behaviors that we need to adopt, so that those excuses are no longer valid. You're no longer not smart enough. You're no longer not organized enough. You're no longer not knowledgeable enough, because now we're adopting the habits that are going to get you into the motions to get rid of those excuses. Those excuses aren't valid anymore. You've educated yourself. You've become organized. You're hanging around better, more supportive people. You have a better support system and all that stuff. So now we're moving forward to the third part, where we're talking about skills to acquire. In this part, we talk about the skills are things that can be taught. They're not things that you're necessarily born with. Some people think that skills are things that you're born with and things that you have to have. And if you're not born organized, you'll never be organized. If you're not born smart, you'll never be smart. If you're not born being a people person or being good at communicating or public speaking, you're never going to be able to do it. And that is so far from the truth. If you look at yourself now, and look at yourself where you were about 10 or 20 years old, depending on how old you were doing a lot of things that you don't even give yourself credit for, that you couldn't do 10, 20 years ago. And you were, using that excuse. I can't do that. I don't know how to be a mom. I don't know how to food shop. I don't know how to organize myself. I don't know how to be vegan. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to do recipes. I don't know how to do PTA meetings. I don't know how to juggle working kids. But look, you're doing it. And you need to start showing yourself that you are thankful for your progress and that you see your progress. Because when you start thanking yourself, when you start noticing the things that you're doing, it motivates you. Even if you don't want to give yourself credit, you do motivate yourself to keep it going. So start thanking yourself. Start being nice to yourself. Start, complimenting yourself. Be your own girlfriend. And we're gonna get into that even more when we talk about our skills to acquire. The first point that she made was planning. Start with the finish line. And when starting with the finish line, you think about the bigger picture. Where is it that you want to be? In the last part, when we were looking at the 10, the 10 dreams, the 10 goals, the 10 things that you want to see yourself doing in 10 years, and then the 10 goal dreams or whatever, and then the one goal. You're going to start with that one goal. What is your one goal? Because we did the 10-10-1. Now we're going to look at that one. This is where you want to be. This is the finish line for you. So once we get to that, we're going to develop three milestones that lead up to that goal. Now, these things are like 3 major things. Like, okay, so you want to write a book, right? That's the end goal. You want this book. I'm saying that because I'm writing a book right now. So my 3 things would have been, I want my first draft finished. My second one would be like, I want to find a publishing company. And then my third one would be, I don't know what my third one would be. You don't really need to have third one. My third one would be the book actually coming out. I wrote the first draft. I wrote write the first draft, do the second draft, find a publishing company. Boom, my book is out. And now I have little mini goals in between. I'm going to do little fillers, things that I could do on a monthly, weekly, daily basis to get myself to that milestone, to get myself to that first draft. Okay, every month, by the end of that month, I need at least 2 chapters done. By the end of every month, I need at least 2 chapters done. Now I'm going to break that into the weeks. Well, how many pages am I putting in a chapter? Like 15 pages. Okay, so I'm saying I want 30 pages done in a month. That's what I'm telling myself. 2 chapters to 30 pages done in a month. So I'm going to break that down. I want a page done in a day. Every day, at least 1 page done. How many chapters am I putting in my book? 10 chapters. All right, well, this is going to take 10 months for you to do. If you do a page a day and you're doing 2 chapters by the end of the month, that means you're doing a page a day, you're going to be done in 10 months. It gives you a more realistic timeline. And that's just my first draft. We're not even talking about the second draft or the third one, or when I have to call an editor or content editor or copy editor or anything. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about the first draft is going to take me 10 months. if I do what I'm supposed to do on a daily basis, which is 1 page. I have made my big milestone attainable, and I have given myself a realistic time frame. Because some people will be like, oh, I want a book. I want to write this book and think they're going to get this book done in 2-3 months and that's it. But you know what? Some days you wake up and you don't have time. Some days you're going to get up and your kids are going to be like, oh, I got your whole day planned out for you, girl. What you thought you was going to do? Sometimes you get up and you just don't feel like it because you finally got a day off from all of the other hats that you're wearing. And you're like, damn, I do not want to put this hat on. It happens. But by you saying 1 page, you're giving yourself an attainable goal. So on Monday, if you forget that 1 page, I think even in the last part that we was talking about taking your day 1 hour at a time. If you wake up in the morning, usually at 8 o'clock in the morning, you do your 1 page, but your morning done spilled over until 11, and now you're finally sitting down at 11:30, sit down and do your hour, do your page. Don't be like, oh, I should have did at 8 o'clock. Now it's 11:30. I ain't gonna do it now. No, sit down and do that hour. Do that 1 page. If you miss Monday because your day was just so busy and spilling over, okay, on Tuesday, either do the 2 pages or still stick to your 1 page. Because sometimes when you feel like you could push things over and say, oh, I'll just do 2 pages tomorrow, or I'll just do 3 pages on Wednesday, you get in the habit of dismissing your goal, dismissing your dream. You get in the habit of disrespecting yourself and the things you want. You don't want to stay in the habit of doing those things. It's not okay. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to want that for you. It's not okay. Okay. Moving forward to the next point, confidence. Confidence is definitely a skill to acquire. If you are not confident in yourself, if you are not confident in the things you're doing, it is going to show, boy. When I first started doing my jewelry, my very first event I did was a Halloween event, and I was nervous. I love customer service. I love talking to people, but I never had to sit down and talk to people about my product, about what I was doing, about what was important to me. I never sat down and did that. So a part of me and my brain was like, you're not enough. This jewelry that you're making is not good enough. It's not spiritual enough. You don't know enough. You're not good enough. They're going to ask you a question that you're not going to have an answer to, and they're going to walk away from your table. They're not going to buy your stuff because you're not intelligent enough, and you're not educated enough in your stuff. So that first event, I ain't really sell that much stuff. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I did not sell that much stuff. Wanna know why? Because I wasn't confident at my table. People ask me questions and I'm stuttering and I'm quiet and I'm closed offish and I'm just saying, hey, these are the rings and these are the, but I'm not going into detail about the crystals that's being used or why I use these crystals or why I put this amount of beads on here or why I put that amount, knowing that I know those things. I did those things. I made this. I know those things, but I put myself down in my head so much, I took away my confidence and it showed. And that's why I didn't make any sales. Now, that next time I went back, I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm better than this. I'm bigger than this. I know what I'm talking about. I love my jewelry, and I love what I have to offer in my jewelry. I love the fact that I make it affordable for people because I don't despise it, but I think it's unfortunate that you have this beautiful spiritual jewelry and people are charging hundreds of dollars for it. Like, it's not something that should be accessible to everyone. Everyone should have access to crystals. Everyone should have access to organites. Everyone should have access to herbal therapy and essential oil therapy and things like that. And they shouldn't have to break the bank to have access to these things. So that's what I want to do. So the next time I came with that confidence. I came with the knowledge. I know what I'm doing. I even wore a red dress. I came in there dressed. I came in there ready, and they were looking at me, and I'm talking about it. And as I'm talking about it with confidence, I'm educating people, and people are looking at me like, what? Wow. And I'm exchanging business cards, and I'm making, I'm rubbing shoulders with people that want to rub shoulders with me. It was beautiful. So confidence is everything. If you're not confident with how you look, you're not going to feel good. I know that sounds shallow, but if you're not confident in how you look, you know what you do. That day you came in and you was kind of like not really dressed, or the day you go outside with just the leggings with the bleach stains and the holes in it and that old high school, middle school t-shirt, and you're like, dang, I hope nobody see me. And you know what? You're moving. You don't even realize the way you walk, your shoulder stance, the way you hold your head up, all of that. It looked like, dang, I hope nobody looks at me. You walked around the store like that. But when you got on that dress and you feeling good and you feeling confident, your stance changes. And when your stance changes, people look at you differently. How you carry yourself is everything. And that does come into play with your appearance. We look at each other, we see each other. It is what it is. When you look good, you feel good. Also how you act. I just went over that. You got to put yourself out there. One of the statistics that she said in the book that was like, whoa, didn't know that, was that when men apply for jobs that they only feel 60% qualified for, and because they feel confident that they'll learn the other 40% on the job. Whereas women will only apply to jobs they only feel 100% confident in doing. And so we kind of hold ourselves back from doing things by doing that. You have to take a chance. You have to take a risk. One thing that I learned definitely the hard way and the long way was that most of these jobs train you on the job. The training isn't always great. A lot of people try to cut corners, but that's another conversation for another day. But most of these jobs understand. They just want you to have a generalized understanding of what's going on. So when they use jargon and stuff, you're not like, what? They just don't want to feel like they have to have you in a classroom for 3 months to learn something. That's what that is. But if you have general, knowledge of something, if you have enough drive and passion about something to where, you know what, I'll take time on my own and my own time to educate myself on it. If it's something that you feel that way about, in the last part that we read in this book, we were talking about if it's not a hell yes, it's probably a no. If you don't feel hell yes about it to where you're going to do any and everything to look at those list of things that say you're not enough, or you're not knowledgeable enough, you're not this enough, if you're not willing to, answer those questions, then don't do it. But if you are, then do that shit. It's okay that you only have 60% of education. It's okay if you only have 60% of the experience. Sometimes they just want to fill a seat with somebody who's ambitious. You could have somebody who's 100% qualified for a job, but if their character is not right, they are not a good fit. If your character is right and your passion is there, even though you don't have all the experience and education that you need, you are a better fit than someone who has the education and the experience and no passion. I know this from experience. I have worked in many fields. One of the fields that I worked at was warehousing. I was brand new to warehousing. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew what I was good at. I was good at working with people. I was good at motivating people. I was good at training and teaching people. And I was great at paperwork. I fit in where I fit in. That was my first warehouse job, and I made myself up to a manager position where I was in charge of coordinating training schedules and cross-training schedules and training people up to become trainers. I did all of that in my first year of warehousing. Want to know why? Because I had enough passion to educate myself on the things that I didn't know. Whereas you had some people there who had the education, had the experience, and had no passion for it. And because they had no passion, it was hard for them to communicate with the other staff. The other staff didn't want to be bothered with them. It didn't work. It changed the morale of the business. So go for that position. Be confident in yourself. Believe in yourself. And also be mindful of who you hang out with. We talked about this before about how you're judged by the 5 people you hang out with the most. That is so true. That is so true, because those are the people that you start to act like. Those are the people you start to think like. Those are the people that you're calling for advice for different things. And those are the people whose advice you're following. And I don't know if people realize or not, but when you go to do things, when you start to police yourself in your mind, those people are the police in your head. Like, you think about it. It's funny because, my life partner is my best friend. And whenever I'm about to do something, I always hear his voice in my head before I do it. Like, but, going back to one of the first part of this book we read about excuses to let go of, what will they think about me? Be mindful with that. And that's why you have to be mindful of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with, because, when you start thinking about what will they think of me, make sure you're thinking about 5 people that are good in your circle, and not like those few friends that's just bitter and nasty because they're not following their own dreams. Okay, moving on. The next point that she made was persistence. Stop looking at your goals as temporary. I have been saying this all week ever since I read this page. I am not lying to y'all. Ever since I read that page, I was like, I do that. Once I reach my goal, I'm like, all right, now what? I was like that with my kids' book. I finished my kids' book. I have a deal I'm working with a publishing company now to get some hardcover copy prints. And now I'm just like, all right, now what? Nah, this is a lifestyle. I have to market my book once these hard copies come out. I have to do marketing material for my book. I have to start going to events. I have to start going to the library. I have to start going to bookstores and all these things to put my book out. This is not a temporary goal. This is a lifestyle. This is not a destination. This is a journey. Your goal is a journey. It is not a destination. So once you reach that milestone, that end spot that you thought was the end, make up the next 3 milestones to prolong that, because it's supposed to be a lifestyle. And one of the best examples I have, aside from my book, of course, is like eating healthy. People will be like, oh, I just want to lose 30 pounds. And then you lose the 30 pounds. And then you're like, all right, I'm done. And then you start eating trash again. Why are you going back and eating that trash? What do you think is going to happen? You're going to gain that weight back like that. And you might get even bigger, because for a while, your body was enjoying that healthy lifestyle you was doing. Your body was getting with it. Your body was loving it. And you was loving that body too, wasn't you, girl? You was energetic. Your sex life was good. Your kids wasn't bothering you. The mood swings was on point. That skin was popping. Your hair was growing nice and thick and oily on its own. Your face started clearing up. All that stuff started happening for you. And then you lost the 30 pounds you wanted to lose. And you was like, all right now. Started going to them barbecues and them family dinners again. Back out eating. Oh, you doing them dessert runs in the middle of the night again. Like, no, don't do that. Because now you even bigger than what you started. And now you're looking in the mirror again like, what the fuck? What happened? I tell you what happened. You treated your goal like a destination and not like a journey. Don't do that to yourself. Be persistent. Never give up. Even when you think you at the end, you ain't at the end till you dead. And even when you dead, I'm sure that ain't the end. God gonna pop out and be like, got you, bitch. Here goes some more shit for you. Like, that's how it works. It takes time and effort, and not 1 or 2 years. That's something I had to learn. I think we as women, we give ourselves age deadlines. Like, by 25, I want this. By 30, I need to have that. By, 50, this need to be popping. Well, me, I'm stuck on my 30. I'm 28 years old now. By the time I'm 30, I want this, this, and this. I know that's a bad habit to have. I haven't said it, but I know. I'm a little bit more easier on myself than what I used to be. I used to beat myself up a lot, because even today, in this moment of time, if I look in the mirror, I am not where I said I want to be at 10 years ago. I am not. But you know what? I'm in a bomb ass spot, and I'm happy where I'm at. And every time I put it out into the universe, what my goals are, what my milestones are, and what my little mini achievements and triumphs are, the universe always put little things in my path that tell me that I'm on the right track. Like, I'll give you an example. So yesterday, I was reflecting about this book with my life partner, right? And I'm like, yeah, I want to cut some things out, because I have a lot of things on my to-do list, and I want to cut some things out. And I was like, I'm a little distraught about the couple of things that I'm choosing to cut out, but I feel like it's for the better good, because I see, one of my enoughs was what I was doing wasn't revolutionary enough. It wasn't spiritual enough. It wasn't helpful enough for my people and for women. And I wanted to change that. I wanted to be enough. And I felt like my jewelry is great. My jewelry helps people, but it wasn't enough for that to be the center. I would rather that be one of the ripples, not the actual rock that I drop in the water. And so we're talking about that, whatever. And then I turn around and I go to this, my cousin's birthday was yesterday. So I turn around and go to a birthday party, and then I'm talking to this woman, and she's talking about her business and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I know I do Facebook page and stuff like that. So like, it's so funny how like I talked about that very thing in the morning, and then later on that evening, it's just like, dude, here go your gym. Yeah, you put yourself on the right path, girl. Like, thanks. Thanks for that confirmation that I was doing the right thing. But with that being said, I know that what I'm choosing to do now isn't going to be overnight. It's not going to be super easy just because that one gym dropped down. This is the hard part, keeping it going, especially on them days where you really don't feel like it, when you really don't feel like enough, when you really don't feel like you have enough energy or enough patience. Those are the days where you got to be persistent the most. Those are the days where you really need to be your own cheerleader. And one of the points that we had talked about before is stop comparing your beginning with somebody else's middle. You think your things are supposed to happen in 2 years because it looks like on Instagram shit is popping for somebody. They pop up and like shit is just great there on the top of mountains doing yoga and deep breathing, and they're running in valleys and they're walking on water. Like, man, shit is happening over there and it looks great. But what they're not telling you is it took 5 years before they can get to the top of that mountain and take that picture to do yoga. They're not telling you about all the years that they didn't post on Facebook where they were losing more money than they were making. They were tired. They were giving up on themselves. They felt like they didn't have a good support system. They overdrank themselves with too much stuff on their to-do list. They're not telling you about them parts. They're taking pictures of the outcomes. Don't compare yourself to that, and don't think that happened in 1 or 2 years just because you missed a couple years off their Instagram page or their Facebook page. That's not real life. Your life is your journey. Don't get impatient with yourself. If you are impatient with yourself, who is going to be patient for you? Who? Nobody. You got to do that for yourself. I'm telling you, I had to learn that the hard way. Reevaluate your efficiency and create your own productive environment. Sometimes you need to do a checkpoint. Sometimes in the book she talk about doing it on Sundays. On Sundays, go back and reflect on your week. Like, how much did I achieve this week? Did I achieve everything I wanted to achieve? Like, okay, let's go back to the book example. So we're doing 2 chapters a month. That's 30 pages a month. That's 1 page a day. So on Sunday, go back and say, did I do 7 pages? Did I complete 7 pages? Oh, no. I missed it on Wednesday. I didn't do 7 pages on Wednesday. Why? Why didn't I do my page on Wednesday? What was going on that Wednesday? Oh, I was on Instagram and Facebook wasting my time. I laid in my bed that morning, was just pigging out, eating food. That's why I didn't get up and work out. Why did I miss that? Why didn't I meet my full goal? So what am I going to do different? That's when it comes to changing your space to enhance your productivity. Oh, maybe for now on, I need to wake up with my phone on the other side of the room. So as soon as I roll over out of bed, my laptop is on my lap. Maybe I need to turn off my Wi-Fi. That way, when I wake up in the morning, my Wi-Fi is off. All I can do on my laptop is work on that not Google document. You need Wi-Fi for that. My Word document or my PowerPoint presentation or whatever else it is I need to do. Maybe I need to get out of bed. Maybe as soon as I wake up in the morning, I need to just jump up. That's one thing that my life partner taught me, because he's a morning person and I am not. I am a vampire. And he was just like, he never understood that. Like, why are you laying in bed in the morning? Get up. So now, he doesn't think I listen to him because I talk a lot of shit. But I do listen to him. When I get up in the morning, I jump up now. I make my bed, I straighten up my room, and I'm sitting in my office, and I'm sitting in a chair, or I'm trying to sit up. When I wake up in the morning, I just lay, and I'm staring at the walls, and I'm staring out the windows. It's peaceful, it's love, but that really does affect how I spend the rest of my day. I'll probably be groggy for the rest of my day because I got up like that. So that's something that I definitely working on. Sometimes you have to go to Starbucks. Sometimes you have to go to the library and use the computer there, because I'll admit, going to the library does work. It definitely does. It does for me. I don't make time to go to the library as much as I should, because I feel like when I do that, I'm taking time away from my kids and my partner and stuff. But going to the library definitely helps. Being there, sitting up, you got to be quiet. You can't really, be too lackadaisy and stuff like that. It does give you the nice, like, now it's time to work kind of vibe. But you do what works for you. Definitely do what works for you. And know that it's about a mind thing. You can clean up your room and you could buy yourself a whole bunch of stuff in your office and you could buy yourself a desk and stuff like that. But if your mind ain't right, all of that shit is a waste of money. I was watching the SNL skit with Adam Sandler and he was talking about the trip to Italy. And he was like, if you're miserable here, even though you travel all the way over here, your body, you're still your miserable self inside of your skin, just in a new location. Like, so yeah, definitely like do what works for your mindset, not necessarily like your eyeballs, because you'll still find a way to distract yourself. Positivity. Don't be mean to yourself. We said this before. Stop putting yourself down all the time. Stop talking yourself out of doing stuff that you're excited about. Stop doing that. Stop letting other people do that. Because you letting other people do that because you do it to yourself. If you didn't do it to yourself so much, other people saying stuff about you wouldn't bother you so much. It bothers you because all it does is confirm the things you already thinking in your head. Don't do that to yourself. Cut it out. Cut it out. I don't tolerate it no more. I think people take it the wrong way from me because I'm very snappy and I talk shit. But my intentions are good. I'm just not tolerating that shit no more. I'm not tolerating it from nobody else. I'm definitely not tolerating it for myself. When I put my heart to something and I say I want to do something, bitch, I'm going to do it. I don't give a fuck no more. I don't, because life is short and I'm only getting this one time. So fuck that. Number 6 was lead her ship. Everybody should be at your table or on your... Everybody should be at your table or on your ship. Reach out to women who don't look like you because representation matters. This is true. One of the examples that she gave was she had went to a summit or something and it was for women and it was 10 women on the panel and 9 of the women were white. Nah, that's trash. That is not representation of all the women. It's so many colors, shapes, sizes, personalities, mindsets, cultures, genders, all that fun stuff. It's so many different... We come in flavors. We come in limitless flavors because we're all fingerprints. So it's an infinite amount of fingerprints existing in this world. There is no blueprint for women. That's why I hate generalizations, and I always catch myself doing them for men, especially when me and my life partner be debating on men and women things. And like, you know, I hate feeling like, you know, my words and my experience and my reality is a reflection of other women. Like I try to defend myself, and I know my defense is not the same thing as this one. Even if her goal is similar to mine, even if her life is similar to mine, I still can't speak for her. She a little different than me. I can't speak for any woman but myself because we're all different. We're all super different. It might be some jokes that you can make as far as generalizations go, but for the most part, nah, we too different for one woman to speak for more than one woman at a time. But with that being said, you still should have like better representation. If you're doing motivational speaking, if you want to inspire moms around the world, if you want to create a helping group, a give and take group, I know Facebook has the trash and treasure groups and the mom group. If you're doing all of that and you only see white women in your group, or you only see, unless it's a white woman group, or, you know, if you only see black women in your group, unless it's you know, geared towards black women, unless you're specifying, you know, those things. If you're only targeting one group of people, you're missing out on things. You're missing out on things because it's usually the group of people that you're avoiding to talk to. It's probably the ones that you need to talk to. Like when I read Metu Netter, I know a lot of, you know, conscious black people talk to me and come back to me with stuff about that. And that's great. I'm glad that I'm doing what I can do for y'all. But I really would like to talk to people who don't know about this stuff. I really would like to talk to people who never thought about it. I would like to talk to people who are not black about this. I love having conversations with white people about black issues. I think it's important. It's so important. It's too important. Black people know black issues. We live around each other. We know what our problems are. It's time for us to go outside of ourselves and start talking to other people like, hey, this is going on over here. Like, and some people are not going to care, just like some black people don't care. Some black people don't care about what black people going through. I got family members that could care less. But, you know, that's what any culture, with any race, with anybody, you know, you take that chance regardless of who you're talking to. So it's diversity matters and it's important. So in conclusion, it's all about believing in yourself. That's what this whole book was about. Believing in your life, believing that your goals matter. Don't give up on yourself even when it feels hard. Take a difficult day 1 hour at a time. And that person you envision in your mind to be, you are that person inside. So don't give up on that person. Don't feel like it's taking too long for that person to come to you. Also, you have to be your own coach and your own hype squad. And that's not easy, but it is simple. And there's nothing wrong with that. I really enjoyed this book. I loved reading it. It definitely influenced me. Influenced me in many ways because, like I said before, I find myself narrowing my goals down. In the last part that we read when it was talking about having only one goal, that really resonated with me because I do put a lot of stuff on my plate and I want to change the amount of things that I put on my plate. So with that being said, I will no longer be doing Less Nobodies jewelry. I will be doing that for fun for me because I love wearing my stuff. I be fly. If, you know, anybody ever wants a piece made for them, custom made or whatever, what have you, I will definitely be doing that. The pieces that I have already made, they are still up for sale for those who want to purchase those. But I will still be doing my help for other small businesses. I still will be doing my swag bags when I go to events. I actually have a summit coming up next month. I'll be needing business cards and stuff from everybody, and I'll be doing a video for that. I'm going to keep working on my data science because I really want to get into PR and helping other businesses that resonate with the things that I believe in. And I want to start teaching that to people. I really want my store, all of that. But those are all ripples of the big boulder that I'm trying to drop. Whereas jewelry, I'm turning that into a ripple instead of one of the stones that I'm throwing in the water. I really love this book club. I want to keep doing this. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy reading books, and I love sharing it with you guys. And I love the fact that I'm influencing people to read, and I'm influencing people to read more often. Far too many people have a book that they start and they'll be sitting on their bookshelf for years and they haven't got past page 10. I love the fact that people are coming to me saying, oh, I love, the fact that you have me reading faster. This is one of the necklaces types that I have for sale. For those of you that are like, oh, what else does she have? These are my sunglasses. These are made to order still. Like, I'll still be making stuff to order, but as far as me making a whole bunch of inventory and doing the events and stuff like that, I don't have time to invest my time in that stuff right now. I have, a lot of other things that I want to do. These are my sunglasses. Let me move my face over. I have an amethyst in the middle, and this is all obsidian. What else? What else do I have? Oh yes, I want to talk to you guys about the next book. The next book that I'm doing is Reclaiming Our Space by Feminista Jones. How Black feminists are changing the world from the tweets to the streets. And she is a Philadelphia-based social worker, feminist writer, public speaker, and community activist. She was named one of the 100 most influential people in Philadelphia and one of the top 100 Black social influencers by The Root. Her writing has been featured in New York Times, Washington Post, Time, Essence, and Ebony Magazine. So Feminista Jones, that's what we're reading next. By Wednesday, I'll have my first review. Sorry about yesterday, guys. Like I said, it was my cousin's birthday yesterday, so we were on the move. On top of the fact that I did kind of fall behind this week on my reading, and that's because I had to reflect on my week. Like, why was my reading falling behind? And it was falling behind because I was putting my energy to too many things at once. My son just turned 5 today, so I'm planning a birthday party. It's just a lot of stuff going on, So I'm taking things off my plate. Some projects that I have are slowly coming to a close now. So I'm going to be better on time. I think I'm just going to keep that I'm still bouncing between Sundays and Mondays, but I think Mondays at 5 is probably better for us to keep going over Metu Netter on like some after work, driving home, tune in. We'll be on Facebook Live. I'm trying to make it so that we can be up on other platforms at the same time as well. If there are any platforms that you guys know of that we could be on, where you guys think that, we could be seen better, or, some people that would be interested in us being on their platform as well, please let me know. I'm open for ideas. This is new to me. This is something new that I'm doing that I love and that I'm very much fall in love with because it's keeping me accountable with my reading. I want to be enough, and my version of being enough is educating myself, and this is my way of making myself enough and at the same time introducing my things to you guys. But yeah, this was a great read. Can't wait to, go over the next book with you guys. I'll be back up here at 5 p.m. to go over Metu Netter with